We would like to welcome you to the Source Energy Collective YouTube channel. This is a collective space for tarot and intuitive insight, investigative conversations, roundtable discussions, and meditations. So without further ado, let's move into today's conversation. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Source Energy Collective. So glad you're here with me. It's another tea and tarot with me. What I wanted to talk about, it's getting harder and harder to get topics to talk about because I don't know, it's just not hitting anymore. Like I used to really enjoy doom scrolling and it's entertainment, right? And I could get lost in there for hours and hours, but now it's like it's not as entertaining. It's like it's kind of boring. So, and I don't watch the news. But what I do have for you guys is I have seen things about the census, and one of my friends on my Facebook page, she posted like a picture of her ripping up the census and sending it back. I've seen other posts about people saying like I'm not sending this, I'm not signing this. There's not a lot of trust in our government right now, so people are very weary about signing this. Not everybody, because on that post that my friend made public, a lot of people were like, what's wrong with you? Why wouldn't you fill that out? Well, if then your community isn't going to get the services that they need, and this is what they tell the public, is that this is the reason we need to take count of people so that we can have enough services. But in the long form of the census, there are some crazy questions, right? There's questions about how many rooms do you have? Are they enclosed? How many bathrooms? And they say that this is for making sure testing housing stability, I think they said, and also crowding. Now, the services thing, there has been a lack of services. I don't really feel like they give a shit about like providing the services because in my old neighborhood, they just kept building houses and houses and houses and condos and townhouses. And there was like not enough schools. The schools were overcrowded. Sure, a lot of people across Canada are dealing with this. Schools are overcrowded. It was horrible trying to get the children swimming lessons, like absolutely impossible. And then, little things like that. So are they really wanting to count for making sure that Canadians have enough services, right? The thing about overcrowding, are they really caring about the overcrowding of Canadian neighborhoods, of cities, of things like that, when they keep bringing people in? The demographics in Canada are changing drastically, right? And a lot of people are really kind of scared to say anything about it in fear of being called racist. And then now what's happening in the UK, there's been a lot, I've done a video on it, look back on our playlist, but there's hella riots in UK. There's people being brought in having rape gangs, and women and like children are unsafe. People walking around trying to behead people on the streets. It's just horrific. And this is all about mass immigration. So not really too sure about that reasoning about overcrowding and needing to know how many rooms you have in your house. That seems really private. Like I wouldn't, why do you need to know how many rooms are in my house? How many kitchens are in my house? Like, it seems weird. Not only that, but they're also asking like identity, gender identity. Now, are they making sure that they have enough services for people in that demographic? That's what they're going to say. Is that really the truth, right? So then another thing is in the UK, they have these census. And in my opinion, what happened in the UK years ago is now happening in Canada, right? So we only have to look over to the UK to see what they were dealing with years ago to see what we're dealing with now. So they did a census, how many rooms are in your house, and apparently, don't quote me on this, but do your own research. This is for entertainment purposes only. Um, don't believe anything I say. I'm only reading tarot and I'm only reading energy, and this is only to have fun, right? So in the UK, what I have heard is that if you have vacant rooms in your home and you're not renting them out, then you can get taxed, which is what they do in like BC, Canada. It's called an empty homes tax. So if you have like an empty home or an empty suite that you're not renting out and is unoccupied, then I don't think it's an empty suite, I think it's an empty home, then you can get taxed like crazy amount of money, right? And what they told us was because foreign buyers were buying up all the homes in Canada and not living here. And that's what they were doing to counteract that. But for Canadians that own two homes that they have, and one remains empty because they don't want the nightmare of renting out to people, because in Canada, the rental board, it seems that the tenants have a lot more rights. It's hard to get people out of your house if they don't pay rent. It's hard to get them out of your house, right? There's no protection for renters, but yet, or for landlords, but yet they're saying that you have to rent this out or you have to pay this obscene amount of tax, right? So, like I said, there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of what is the motivation behind this? And that's what I wanted to do the tarot reading on. One other thing before I begin the read is that right now an Alberta couple is taking Ottawa to court over concerns of privacy um, of the 2026 census. So things like asking about gender identity and health. They say that it is a private matter. Yes, you can count us, but there has to be a line drawn about what is appropriate to ask and what is not appropriate to ask. So we'll see where that goes. Um, yeah, so there's other things I wanted to touch on in this reading, but let's start with the motivation, like the actual root motivation of the census 2026 in Canada. Can you tell me about why the census was sent out? And what is the root reason that this was sent out to Canadians? You hear my cat. Midnight. Good ones. It's still coming up. Okay, can you give me a clarity card? Page of Swords, gossip, illusions. So the Page of Swords came up as the clarity when I asked, can you clarify this read? And my question was, can you give me the basis, the base reason of why the census was sent out in 2026? So there is an illusion around it. This is the Four of Swords. So four structure, this is in the past. This is the old structure, right? Like they're using this data and they've done this for years, right? It's just that Canadians are not as trusting. So it's coming up in question right now. Nobody really questioned it in the past. We were all stuck and the secrets are right here, right? And we're all being gaslit and we're just good little good little Canadians, filling out our forms. So that was in the past. Right now, Canadians are going within and really questioning things, right? Really discerning things. This is the hermit looking at the past, looking into maybe looking into the UK's past, right? And this is the illusion. There's some that are looking into the past and some still enamored with the illusion. So when my girlfriend put out that ripped paper post, a lot of people were like on her case, right? So that is the illusions. And some people were like, yeah, I'm not filling that out either. I'm not telling you what to do. You do you. Um, your truth is in your heart. Again, this is for entertainment purposes only. In the near future, there is going to be some illumination of the shackles that this came out in my past read. This was like a representation of the shackles, right? This is the shackles that the government has put the people under, and it's being illuminated in a very, very high degree. Yet at the same time, Canada is the last stronghold of the deletes. We were one of the last countries to be freed from all the mandates between 2025 or 2020 and 2025. And because there are two different schools of thought that war with one another and can't seem to see each other's, like, even come together, even though you don't agree, right? There's a lot of division here right now. This to me is talking about a portal, but a portal to which it can be either or right now in Canada. But I do feel that a lot of people are questioning it, right? Hmm. Okay. So then this is the Page of Cups. What is this one saying to me right now? The Page of Cups is this kind of, I feel like this is more of, it's not only just a new kind of way of being, and yeah, it's a new way of being. This talking about Canadians, new way of being, of the lack of trust for the government and just being good little Canadians and doing what our government says. So that is moving away from that kind of vibration. Um, so can you tell me, I'm gonna pull more on the census. Can you tell me more about the census? Is it going to be used against the Canadian population in the same way that it was used in the UK to tax people? It's unclear right now. Things are moving really slowly. Um, but Canadians are in this kind of state. It's like winning at all costs kind of thing. And these are Canadians. Like, we're just too busy trying to survive and take care of our families to be able to do much of anything, really. And there's that small percentage of people, and I'm not really even thinking it's a small percentage. I think it's growing and growing and growing. There's a percentage of people that do still have the energy to say no more, right? And this is them trying to win at all costs, trying to put Canadians into this kind of state. Wow. Canadians are still going on a journey, and the journey, and it's going to continue, you guys. It's going to continue. This is the slowest card, right? So yeah, they're not using the census in a very, very upfront way. Let's go just one more spread on the census, and then move to maybe let's move to the court case. Can you give me a couple more cards for clarity on the census? Any advice that you give collective about the census, this 2026 Canadian census? The Hierophant, the Eight of Cups. Yeah, so it is, it's an old tradition, but this to me is like the deletes, right? So that's in the past. And this one, the advice is you need to go in your own journey and look directly at the illusion. These two cards are talking about the illusion, right? So it's again telling us to go within, um, see where it hits you, see if it's like you're getting the heebie-jeebies when you even think about it. Again, I'm not telling you to fill it out or not fill it out. Um, but yeah, but just don't be mean to people who are filling it out and to people who aren't filling it out. We all have a right to our own kind of sovereign choice, right? So uh, I want to ask, is taxing empty rooms like they did in the UK going to happen? I'm going to use the pendulum. Okay. And then if depending on what the pendulum says, we'll do an energetic read. It's searching. There's no answer. And they are taxing empty rooms in the UK. But right now, it's still searching. There's no answer about Canada if that is going to happen. So, yeah. Um, Now, let's do the court date. The Alberta couple that's taking Ottawa to court, Spirit. Can you tell me anything about the court date? The momentum. Cards want to speak. The momentum of the court date between the Alberta couple against Ottawa regarding privacy concerns of the Census. Can you tell me the momentum of the court case? Hello. Hi, baby. Hello, monkey. I know. So the judgment card, the high priestess, and the 10 of Pentacles. It looks promising, you guys. Like it's going to bring up the court case, right? The court case is the judgment. It's like looking at both sides, but it's also going to bring up a lot of secrets. So it's going to illuminate a lot of things for people who are willing to actually see it, right? Mhm. And the 10 of Pentacles. So the 10 of Pentacles to me is like a success, right? It's a completion of this like earthbound kind of court case. And I feel like it may be a little bit lucrative for the people that are going to court with it. The Four of Wands also wanted to pop out. What's this to do with the court case? This is talking to me about illusions, the illusion of what they want the world to see Canada, right? And Canada, I mean, a lot of people here are really struggling. So it doesn't really look like this, you know? Um, what else can we talk about? There was another thing that is going on. Like I said, the UK is up in arms right now. A lot, I've seen different things on social media that a lot of people are fleeing the UK. A lot of people that weren't really supposed to be there or just immigrated there because there's a lot of like unrest, right? And so they're saying send them back, all the people that aren't supposed to be there. So now these people are actually leaving. And what's happening in Canada right now is our beautiful, wonderful person is saying that they're going to buy the mass amount of homes that were built in Vancouver or around Canada. I don't know if it's just Vancouver. All the empty new homes. The government is going to buy them and make them into low income housing. That sounds really great, right? Doesn't that sound great? Low income housings to brand new homes. Yeah, that sounds wonderful. Help the people because, like, but you know what I'm thinking is that they created this problem. They brought in way too many people, way too fast, opened up our borders, not any sort of like restraint, no questions. It was like, yeah, just come on in. Our demographics have changed. Our cities have changed. A lot of people are upset about that. Some people are okay about that. You can't talk about it or you're going to be called racist. Um, so they kind of caused the problem of the increased cost of housing. What a house costs in Vancouver is ridiculous, right? In my opinion. People can't afford it. Don't you think our children want to be able to buy these homes? But because you have inflated the cost of this housing because of all the people, so we have a lack of housing, these houses and rent is like out of reach for us Canadians. Um, but now you want to come in like a knight in shining armor and fix it and buy these and make it low income housing. So let's see the validity of that whole thing, which I already know, but let's see the validity of that whole story. It's their promise fulfilled. Um, and it's going to break things down. Like, you know what's coming through, you guys, is that where are these houses? Who are they going to be given to? Right? And what's happening in the UK? Where are those people going to go? Where are those people going to go? Okay, so this is their promise fulfilled. There's going to be a total destruction changeover. Not sure what this is, but it's coming in hot. Right. So intuitively, I'm thinking that it isn't going to go to the Canadians um, of low income. It's going to go to some other demographic. Am I right in that? Can you tell me about that? Can you clarify? Can you tell me about that? Mm. Five of Swords. And again with the portal card. I'm not getting a good vibe on this. So this is going to cause a lot of like chaos, a lot of people fighting over. They're just trying to cause little fires around the actual root of the problem, right? So these are the little fires around the root of the problem. So you don't see exactly the root of the problem. And then the Page of Cups is coming through right now, which was the advice on the last one to move through a way of discerning your own truth instead of just believing everything that you're just being told. And again, with the Two of Wands, it's up in question which portal we're going to be going through in Canada, right? Huh. Now another thing is coming in right now. Okay. I want the clarity. Spirit, can you clarify the Tower card? Can you clarify the Tower card? I want the clarity of the Tower card. They're trying to win at all costs. It's going to show them trying to win at all costs. But people are going to see through it and not want what they are offering. Oh my gosh. I feel like this is, yeah, because this is what's happening in the UK too. Is like this whole thing about the housing, right? They're going for our houses. They're going for what happens when you don't have a house? You have no stability, you have no safety, you have no security, right? Which makes us easier to manipulate. Um, I'm trying to word this in a really good way. Let's just ask the pendulum. Yeah, these empty houses, the brand new house is going to be bought by the developer from the government. The government's going to buy them from the developer. That's a strong yes. Are they going to be turned into low income housing? That's a strong yes. Is this low income housing going to be given to Canadians? That's a strong no. The people fleeing the UK, are many coming to Canada? That is a strong yes. We are the last stronghold of the cabal. All right. So is this can you tell me, Spirit, like I want to know if this is a big show or if this is an actual thing. Like, is this a white hat thing or is this a cabal thing? Spirit, can you tell me? Let's take a read on our beautiful, wonderful person here. Can you tell me if our beautiful, wonderful person has he been changed over? Is he working for the white hats? This just seems too crazy. Like, Seven of Pentacles, the Hierophant, Wounded Warrior, the Temperance, the Queen of Swords. Um, okay. So it kind of looks like it, but it doesn't kind of look like it. I'm just gonna get a little bit of the confirmation here. Um, yeah, yeah. All right. So our beautiful, wonderful person has been changed over. This is the Cabal. This is the Wounded Warrior. So they're not doing very good. And this is all their craziness, all the pentacles, all their illusions, all their gaslighting. Um, so through the Wounded Warrior and the Cabal thing, I feel like the Wounded Warrior is saying that he was being kind of taken over, kind of turned over. And then there was like a temperance, a balance, right? Like you're gonna be doing this to show people, like, because it's just too crazy. Show people the cold hard truth and illuminate the shackles that the Canadians have been under. And I asked the pendulum, and that was a confirmation as yes, this is just the show. All right. So to show the people, I guess. Let's take an energetic read of that whole weird land grab thing. So, an update on the land grab thing, which we've done a lot of work on, is that there was a Supreme Court ruling that for the Cowichan band that they owned the property in Richmond in BC. And then they just had another Supreme Court ruling. I don't know if that first one was a Supreme Court ruling, but they had a Supreme Court ruling. And the most recent one was saying that they don't have rights over private property, right? Now, the beautiful, wonderful person of BC, he is backtracking, and he was like, no, we need to take a pause on this like drip and undrip and see what's this gonna go. And then one group of people got mad at him, and then now like the guy can't do anything right. So I'm just curious, right? Like, because I am in DC. So what is happening with the whole land grab thing, the momentum around that? And honestly, I knew it was like a divisionary kind of thing, or divide and conquer. And they're using like this whole situation as a Trojan horse, right? It wasn't going to turn out for either party because yeah, it wasn't going to be good. But it was really sad what was happening around town and around social media was that there was so much anger and division. And honestly, in my opinion, we failed it. We failed the fucking test, right? We had one group of people like saying, ha ha, your turn. And then another group of people going, yeah, watch me, like try to try it, right? Like it was not good. We got to do better as humanity and see through all these like divisionary manipulation, gaslight bullshit that we're all going like that being put onto us. Like we're smarter than this, people. All right, so what's the momentum of it? It's not, it's just dividing up. Yeah. Okay, so what's going to happen of it? It is actually uniting people, right? The both sides, the two sides, hopefully. It's going to put an end to that stupid division between these two groups of people. And it's going to make us step into a new path because we also did another thing of the Indigenous rising. They're really pivotal people in the rise of the new earth, right? So, and I'm not saying the Indigenous in Canada, I'm saying all the Indigenous across the world, right? The Indigenous rising. What else is happening in Canada? What else? What else? What else? Let's talk about the Alberta separation. Let's see what's happening in Alberta. Can you give me a momentum? So, one of our dear friends in the Source Energy Collective is an Albertan, and apparently the courts have ruled that they are not allowed to leave. You're not allowed to do this. So now they're fighting that court date. But the referendum apparently is going to go through in October. They've already won the fact that they're going to have a referendum in October to vote on this. So that is what's happening. Spirit, can you give me the momentum of Alberta separation? Intuitively, I've always said this, is that they're going to need Trump's help. I'm not saying 51st state or anything like that, but Canada is not going to let them go, right? So they're going to need some heavy hitters to help them get out if they're going to want to get out, you know? So, Spirit, can you tell me the momentum of the Alberta separation? Ooh, and we can talk about fires too. There's some fires going on. Alberta separation, Queen of Cups, Two of Swords, Nine of Swords, Ten of Cups, Eight of Pentacles. All right. So the Eight of Cups is, I feel like this is Danielle Smith. She's just very grounded. She's very like she's non-emotional, right? Like she's mastered it. And she just is, in my opinion, a very powerful kind of like leader to take this bull by its horn. And this is the present. It's still kind of like they're in a bind right now with the whole process because they're trying to do it through the courts and everything else. The courts are, in my opinion, kind of corrupt. The Nine of Swords. So this is almost the ending. It's like making people, they're in binds, people are in binds, but people are actually seeing how manipulated they are and how stuck they are because of this whole situation. The near future, this card is not talking to me about illusions right now. The near future is very positive. of the separation. It's like it feels like it's going to move forward with a lot more work, and it's going to open up a lot of the secrets within a bigger picture, right? A lot more secrets are going to come out because of the separation. I think a lot more secrets are going to come up around the courts and how the courts are so kind of like staged, you know? What else can we talk about in Canada? Um, how about let's talk about some weather manipulation and the fires. Can you tell me the fire near Lytton, BC, the one right by Lillooet? It's not Lytton, Lillooet. It's the one by Whistler. That fire. Is it Lillooet or Lytton? I'm just going to picture it in my head. Can you tell me about this fire that's happened? This is second fire. The place, like the city, is not a big city. It's just right outside of Whistler, and it burnt down huge in the last few years. I'm not exactly too sure when it was, but it was like one of those fires, right? What? Okay, I'm gonna shuffle again because I just got the same card. So let me shuffle again. Tell me about the fire. I was you see, I think yeah. It seems to be. Isn't I can use the pendulum for that. The yes no answers are great with the pendulum. Yeah, that's what I thought. So people need to still go on a journey. So it was kind of like a planned one, if we can say it like that. People still need to go on the journey to see the illusions. But right now, there's a lot of people hurting. They're losing their homes, they're losing their everything. But I feel like this is an agenda to rape and pillage. They will be successful at that, but it will make people see all the gaslighting and the illusions and turn the wheel, right? If this isn't the wheel, this is the world. Um, I feel like it's a destiny card. Can you tell me anything more about this fire and it being a direct energy weapon or a planned one in that way? What is the reasoning? It is- You know what's coming in right now? It's 15-minute city time. 15-minute city time. Then they will see the illusions. I'm not loving that one. I don't consent to it being destined. All right. And I'm hearing right now, but it is, but it's still part of the movie. Okay. What about the fire? Again with the Ten of Swords and the Magician and the King of Swords. Okay, so this is like winning at all costs. They're trying to win at all costs. Um, it's an illusion. And these are the people doing it, right? So you guys, you know what? Like if we're in the place, just make sure you're doing your raking of your properties. So that's like not a lot of like underbrush. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be doing that too after I finish my yard work. I'm going to blow away all the stuff so it's nice. Is there any advice on that? All these cards are just telling us to just, when this one came up, it was like, do the work on your earth pentacles, do the work around your property, right? Make yourself safe. The Hermit, try to detach away from what's happening in the world, but at the same time, do your own work slowly, because this is going to happen for a little while now, right? Try to stay within your center, try to stay within that, and stay within your, gather up your strength in a very, 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 very strategic way. I'm just hearing like rake up the stuff, rake up the underbrush, cut those dead trees down, right? On your property. Do that sort of thing. Make sure you check in with your insurance if you have insurance, right? See if there's been any like weird changes that they haven't notified you or sent an email to you and you like deleted it and didn't read it. So make a phone call. Just keep yourself safe. So I don't think there's anything else in Canada. If you guys have any little ideas that you want me to pull cards on, please let me know. Reach out to us, comment in the video comments, and let me know what you're interested in. I'd love to pull cards for you. We do offer private tarot readings. So you can check out our website and see all the things that we do offer. If you're interested in a private reading, we can definitely do that for you. You can contact us through our website or through the email, which is in the details in all our videos. I'm just going to pull a message from the fairies. New beginnings. Yes. Yes. This is new beginnings. This is the summer solstice. This is the threshold. The veil has dropped. Right? So all of these things are winning at all costs, last ditch effort. You know, it's part of the story, right? But in that, there is going to be a new beginning. When one door closes, another one opens. I have seen it in my life so many times, and every single time that door that's opened has been way better than the one that's closed. So let that door close, in my opinion. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this reading. We will talk soon and do another reading. Check out our winter solstice meditation. It was really, really fun and really great. I feel a lot of people had a lot of good expansions. We anchored the field, so you should be able to have the same experience if you weren't able to make it live. And just, you know what? Try to look beyond the chaos, right? Try to keep that joy in your heart, that inner child fire, that flame alive and kicking. Because really I feel that it is a show, you know, but the show isn't for us. We just need to rake our garden. I will catch you in the next video. It was so fun hanging out with you guys. We hope you enjoyed our video, and if you're curious about who we are as Source Energy Collective, you're welcome to visit us at sourceenergycollective.com. We are a global collective of independent practitioners, each sharing our own unique offerings, including private tarot readings, energetic recalibration for the energy body and home, energy healing sessions, and Vedic and numerology reports. We also host a free public Telegram community where we stay connected, share updates, post links to our live gatherings, and support each other through our spiritual journeys. You can find all of our work and practitioner information on our website, sourceenergycollective.com, and explore what feels aligned to you. We look so forward to hearing from you. Love, Source Energy Collective.